Alright. Good evening. The time being 6:30, I'm going to call to order the Tuesday, February 11th, 2014 public hearing of the Tilton Planning Board. First on our agenda is Planning Board Case 14-02, amended site plan to allow the cleaning, washing, and detailing of automobiles. Property is located at 216 Laconia Road in the Regional Commercial District, R20/20.
Okay, I'll let them know you're right away. Okay.
Sounds like we may have to skip over that.
He's parking his car.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna skip over that for now,
Okay.
and we'll move on to our next one.
Oh, can I make an announcement to the people in the room real quick?
Sure.
If anyone's parked on the street, you have to move your car. They're moving snow tonight, and they will tow you if you're out there in the street.
I'm down there.
And it's still, if it's public parking, is there signs out there saying
There's
after
no
7?
snowbank.
Well, I'm just telling you.
There's a lot of cars out there, let me tell you.
Okay.
Oh, there are.
If they're gonna tow, they're gonna be busy.
Yeah.
All right, so
Okay.
we'll move over that. We'll go to conceptual. Discussion of the proposed building
Yeah.
of a new building at 51 Tilton Road in the Regional Commercial District.
That's okay.
Is that you?
Is there anyone here for that?
I'm sorry,
I
which
don't
one?
think so. John's here now.
51 Tilton Road?
Yeah.
Yep,
Okay,
that's,
I'm just checking because they're gonna.
my client just ran really quick to move start.
John's here
I'll
now.
start.
Yeah.
There's a good spot. Should I set this up so the camera?
Right where you are is perfect. Yes.
Don't strain their eyes as much.
Yes, yes.
No, yeah, this is- Huge copyrights.
Okay, we can share. There we go. Because they're gonna go down that other one, Sandy and Jane. Oh, okay. Okay.
We're gonna share with.
Okay.
Well, you can just picture it anyway, so.
Can you see okay? I have an extra one. You can go look at it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay.
Trying to block anybody here. Good evening, my name is Chris Rice, I'm with TF Moran. With me tonight is David Gross from TBG, and we're here tonight on behalf of Grand State Credit Union. That's looking to build a new bank right on 51 Tilton Road, which is tax map R23, lot 23, right adjacent, that used to be the old J.J. Nissen building. Right here is the existing fireworks building. The existing building that was there has been demolished. The existing pavement still remains. I do have an existing conditions plan here of what it did look like. Pretty much it's the same condition except that the building has been removed at this time. What they're proposing is a two-story credit union with drive-through. The first floor is approximately 4,800 square feet and the second floor is 1,800 square feet. It's two-way traffic up to this point, at which point it would just be one-way circulation for everybody going around. We have had a meeting with the fire department. We also had a meeting with Joanna regarding the sewer. She's going to bring it before the sewer commission on the 18th. And we are scheduled to go before the conservation commission on the 17th for their information. 33 parking spaces are required. We're proposing 36 with a future 7 spaces located in this area. We're going to design the stormwater treatment system to handle it, but we don't propose constructing those at this time. It's really, if they see the need for additional spaces in the future, that's where they would put them. They're proposing a new sign location up here in the corner of the property. The existing sign is located approximately there. We did meet with NHDES Shoreland already. They're in favor of the project. The overall, the existing site, as you know, is developed. With this project, we're reducing impervious coverage by about 10,000 square feet. I do have a colored map if you need to see the differences in the area of what's being removed versus what exists. But this will just give you an idea. The green is areas that are existing pavement that will become open space, and the purple is existing open space that would become paved areas. So you can see the difference, there's a lot more green than the red, so an improvement over what exists today. The stormwater system, we will be getting an alteration of terrain permit for the project, so everything will meet town and state standards for the stormwater design. And one item I did want to ask the board is whether or not we need to apply for a conditional use permit. The regulations for the groundwater protection district, there's a notation in there that says that you need a conditional use permit if you're proposing 15% or 2,500 square feet of impervious, whichever is greater. This lot, we have a lot more than 2,500 square feet of impervious proposed, but again, it's a lot less than what exists. When we had a preliminary meeting with Sandy and Augusta, they thought it best to just ask the question of the board, is that, do we need to apply for that permit or not? And with that, I can open it up to any questions or comments you might have.
Who would we expect to react to that?
I'm sorry, what's
I
that?
say, who would we expect to react to that question?
To which question?
The,
Groundwater protection district
Yeah.
question? I'm not sure, I mean, we can apply for it, we just weren't sure, so when we had a preliminary meeting with Sandy and Augusta to just show them the plan before we made the application to come here tonight, and we brought that up as a question, so we just weren't sure how the board would like us to proceed with that. We just don't want to not apply for it and then find out that we need it, so.
okay, I didn't have anything particularly in mind, I just wanted to make sure that if somebody did,
Well, I guess what Gus and I were thinking, let's get back to it. The concrete is already there, the paved area is already there from the previous building. They are not proposing more concrete. They're gonna use what's there, but they're gonna take some of it away and make more green space. So,
I would not think they would need it based on that.
well, I'm just telling you what went through our mind, but I'm not the whole board, so that's why I told them to ask you guys.
That would be my reaction, that was my reaction when you asked the question, you're not increasing, you're decreasing.
I agree.
Green is better.
I'm sorry.
Our intent would be to submit plans at the beginning of March to get on, it's the first meeting in April, but I have to check how the schedule works, but, other questions or comments?
Yeah, on the left-hand side there, the building, you got two-way traffic, but only partially. Why is that?
To this spot right here, we're proposing two-way, just so if you're parked in this area, that you don't have to go all the way around the building to exit. But once you go past this point, we made it one-way because of the drive-through, and we didn't want people coming around this way while people are all exiting the drive-through. There's a ATM as well as two pneumatic tube lines as part of the drive-through, so we thought it safest to only have one way up to that point.
And that makes sense, I was just wondering why you put that particular, way next to the building going out. You know, why you just didn't make it all one way.
Yeah, it was really just so that people didn't have to drive all the way around the
Okay.
building.
Thank you.
Have you, oh, you're keeping the same driveway, right?
Yes, yeah, this ties in at the existing curb cut. We'll submit to NHDOT for an amended driveway permit.
Snow storage?
We're gonna predominantly place it in the area furthest away from the bank that we can, in non-landscaped areas. I mean, we're gonna have landscaping speckled throughout here, but we'll call out for snow storage in those areas.
What was the group that you said that you met with, Lake, the shore?
Oh, shoreline, New Hampshire Department of Environmental Services Shoreland Division. Because the whole property, because of the proximity of the site to the Winnipesaukee River, the whole site is technically within the shoreland protection zone. So we just had a meeting with them to let them know what we were doing and see if we needed any special permits for that. which we do get a permit through them. We don't have to submit to them separately because we are submitting for an alteration of terrain permit, so it's covered within that permit application process, but we still met the shoreline just to be on the safe side.
Okay.
Are you gonna change the slope of the land at all, or?
Not really. I mean, we're gonna try to keep existing grades, but right now, everything from a stormwater perspective pretty much sheets from the road to the river, and we're gonna intercept that and treat it before it gets that way. So this end might get picked up a little bit to sheet that corner interior to the site, collect it. I'm not sure of the exact treatment system layout yet, if we're gonna do a tree filter or like a storm tech system. But we're gonna, that would be the only kind of elevation alteration from what's there today.
Where would that, is that what the blue is here, or is that just?
The blue is the existing.
No,
river.
these
That's the
little
river.
squares, like these yellow, is that just?
Oh, that's just, sorry, that's the building setback line, and that's just a
Oh.
dimension of 20 feet. That's just showing that that's a location of the building setback line. And then this is a 20-foot buffer. The yellow line's a 20-foot buffer from the edge of the wetland area, which the existing pavement on the southerly end here, we're not going anywhere beyond what exists today. Or proposing any additional clearing in that location either.
It's a nice location,
It is.
It
Nice.
is.
right on the river.
Did you mention, Chris, he has us on the hearing for the sewer commission
Yes.
on the 18th?
And the Conservation Commission.
And the Franklin sewer plant isn't looking for an application because it's an existing
Right,
use.
and did the fire department?
Yeah, we met with the fire department.
Did they have any suggestions, or?
Nope. Not beyond their typical
Right.
recommendations.
Right.
The building's not required to be sprinklered. I think that
Mhm.
they're still deciding if they want to pursue that or not, because the existing site is currently serviced by an on-site well. If they're going to sprinkler the building, they have to bore underneath Route 140 to get to the water line, because it's on this side of the road, so
Right,
they're deciding what they're going to do for now.
okay.
Oh, yeah, we know about that water line.
Oh, I didn't know what the
Okay.
Sounds great.
Well, thank you very much for your time. If any other questions come up, Sandy and Augusta know how to get a hold of me, and otherwise, we'll see you for one of the public hearings.
Augusta has
Oh,
resigned.
right, she has, that's
Yes.
right. Wasn't sure
So,
if her last day had come up yet.
by the time you come in, we'll have a new,
Okay,
this person.
Okay, so that's the 25th is the hearing.
yes.
You don't
March.
have one on voting day or,
No,
it's the 25th?
no, because so many of us are working at the
Working
election.
on the polls, okay.
Okay?
All right, thank you.
Well, thank you very much. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. We'll just put it- Okay. Yes, it will be.
All right.
He isn't for a placemat.
Yes.
Do you have one for the file?
I will,
Otherwise, I got two here, you see.
Right.
no, hold on.
Just put one in the file.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find which file it is without spilling it. That's 216, 216. All right. Now we're gonna go backwards. All right, we'll go backwards to planning board case 1402. Amended site plan to allow the cleaning, washing, and detailing of automobiles. Property is located at 216 Laconia Road in the Regional Commercial District, R20/20. reviewed the site plan application. We do have one minor major issue,
What's that?
that
You didn't sign it.
the application is not signed.
On behalf of How did that get by?
Didn't get by us, John.
I think someone was in retirement mode, I'm not sure.
I'd be happy to sign it now if you'd like.
If you wanna hand it to him, can I sign it for you?
Sure, I just gotta go find the original one in here somewhere. Hey, look at that. Driver's license, blood specimen, urine sample.
Sample.
Yeah, your birth certificate.
You don't know me by now.
Nor do we ever.
Boy, you'll be running around. Thank you, kind sir. All
So
right.
is he signing all of them?
No, I just signed the one original. Yeah,
Oh, all right.
Okay, I'll make a motion to accept the application for case 14-02, as it appears to be substantially covered.
Now,
I'll second.
actually, we need to have a different second, since he's an alternate.
Oh,
Jane will second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay.
I apologize for
That's okay, that's okay. The floor is yours.
Thank you, sir. My name is John Bernard. Nice to see you all again.
We do have a couple of new faces on the board.
We do. Welcome.
Hello.
Hi. I'm proposing to take this garage and turn it into a detail shop. And this is already Winnisquam Auto West, and when I went and applied for it, there was no detailing to be done unless I came back and went in front of the board. So one of the things that you have to do to allow cars to be washed is you have to apply for the state permit, which I've done. And I believe it has been approved. I've talked to them. I do not have it in hand, but I should have it within the day. Do you have the state approval? I haven't
I
done it
just
yet.
have your letter.
A letter from the state with all the conditions.
Oh, good. They never sent one to me. When did this come in? Recent?
Well, it's
February
dated
4th.
January 29.
I haven't received
February
it yet.
4th. Oh, you haven't?
No.
We just assumed it was addressed to you, that you would have gotten.
No, I didn't. Well, so now I have a state approval in front of you. This is the same type of system that they use in all the state facilities for washing cars that don't that aren't on storage. I assume probably maybe even the town is using it. But these are oil water separators in case any contaminants get into it. You also have to have the MSDS, which is the criteria for the breakdown of the components have to be sent into the state and they have to approve it. And the way that this one is approved, mostly what we use nowadays is simple green for cleaning cars. Thank you. It's simple green nowadays because it's breakdown and biodegradable. After the water goes into the floor drains, it goes into this oil water separator in case there are any contaminants. They float up, and it only allows the water that is clear and pure to go out. And the state comes along and tests it randomly, usually about once a year. You'll see them. They'll take a soil sample. It's really, they do them all over the state. Like I say, all the state trucks you see that are getting washed down with salt, if they're not on city water and storage, they have to install these type of systems, and they have a group of them that go around and test it. So it's pretty simple what I'm asking for. I'm not going to get real elaborate. And if you have any questions, I'm open to them. I'll sit down and field them there if you don't mind.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, John. I guess I have some concerns, and I don't know the answer to one of my concerns. And one of my concerns is, will what you are generating be handled by a 50-year plan, or will you need a 100-year plan for stormwater management? I don't know the answer to that, and I think you need to get that answer from COMCOM before.
I can answer that. We're washing 2 cars a day. You're talking about somewhere between probably 10 to 15 gallons a day.
Okay, I'm concerned about that because when you came in here for the original plan, and when you went before CONCOM, I have their notes here, you were not gonna be doing any of that.
That's
No
right.
maintenance or no washing. I specifically asked that question on the planning board, and I see that Helen Hanks asked that question on CONCOM, and you said absolutely not, we will never be washing anything there, we'll be taking those back to the other site.
Right. That's correct. So we're coming in for that. But then the other part of answering that question, the state does not allow you to do any repairs in the same area where you're washing cars. So there'll be no repairs done. But the
I'm
cars
not
have to
asking
be
about
washed.
repairs, I'm asking about the washing, which wasn't gonna be done, that's what I'm asking about.
One of the things that we did talk about when I was in here before is that they wash cars outside on the pavement. That wasn't a problem, but it was the detailing that was gonna be a concern. And I said there would be no detailing done in there. And there hasn't been any detailing done in there. Right now, we have it loaded up with tires. You can go down there and see it. And there's no way that we can even get a vehicle in there. So I'm coming back in here, explaining it and going through the state so we can do it. None of the water will be leaving the site. And again, what we're talking about is 2 cars that get detailed again daily. If cars need to be washed because of salt and dust and pollen, which they get done outside, which is permitted by the state. And every lot in, every car lot that you see from Tilton to, you know, Benson's, they all wash their cars outside, they have to. What's happening is, when we opened up that shop, is that we have guys standing around there a lot waiting for sales. So now, it only makes sense as a business, which we employ 10 people now, local 10 people in the area, for them to stay busy by getting the cars detailed in it. Most of it's vacuuming and that sort of thing that they have to do. So, as far as it be having a 50 or 100-year storm, the water all has to be contained within that swale, and we're talking about 2 cars a day. So I know that the water leaves the lot. I have a hard time seeing where the Conservation Commission is involved, but there's no wetlands on the lot, and none of the water would be leaving the lot.
Can I ask, would you give me a description of exactly what is detailing?
Sure. It's a lot of vacuuming,
Yeah?
it's a lot of scrubbing, it's a lot of washing, and a lot of buffing. Do you know what buffing is? Seagulls are present here.
Sounds like somebody's phone's ringing.
So you can wash the car.
That's one of the reasons why you have to wash cars, those damn
Yes.
seagulls from McDonald's. But
What about the engine? Do you scrub the
no,
engine?
you don't. You don't. We occasionally, if one's really dirty, we'll use simple green and rags to wipe them down. We have found if you start washing engines, you have a lot of engine problems. We have, you know, if you take a pressure hose to or high pressure hose to an engine,
Yeah.
it doesn't run very well.
All right.
Yeah, I'm just saying, it's, I catch my guys doing it, I'll choke them, because the next thing I know is I have a test drive and the car's not running right, and it's because, you know,
Because of that.
because of that, so you can't do that, it's just,
Yeah.
you know.
On this diagram,
Yes.
so all the water from the car wash is gonna go into this tank.
Right.
Approximately how much gallons is that tank gonna hold?
Oh, that tank is probably 75-gallon tank. One of the things that I found out about this site, which I didn't even know about it when I first met here, there was already floor drains inside of there. There's already been drained and piped, and I found it actually when I was putting in the retention pond out back. We dug it up, and all of a sudden this hose came out of the ground. I really didn't know what it was, and I followed it and went out of the garage, and I realized that they had floor drains in there. So that made it a little easier for us to do it. Otherwise, it's, if you don't have it tapered going to drains, you'd have to be cutting up the concrete in there and putting them in, and then you'd have to have it tapered. It would make it really difficult. This made it kind of obvious that it would be a good thing for us to do, for a business-wise.
Well, what's happening to that hose now?
There's no water in there because there's nothing in the garage. It's got tires in it, and it's got a boat, and it's got a sign. You couldn't fit a car in there.
So what are you gonna do with that hose?
That hose will be hooked up to the oil-water separator.
Okay,
It
so
goes
it's not
through
gonna
that.
go into the pond.
No, no,
Okay.
you can't do that.
Okay.
Yeah, no. I found it by digging the pond up. I'm just being truthful with you. That's how I realized that it was. I thought they were just little drains that went into the ground and stopped. You know, and someone put some rocks underneath the pavement in case they had a little water in the car, it would go in there and drain out. But
A dry well type thing?
right, that's what I thought they were. But when I dug out back, I found the hose. We don't have anything in there that would create any water to get into it now.
I am disappointed because I thought it was gonna be a public car wash.
Public.
Yeah.
She wants a new
I went.
place to
I'll
wash
tell
your
you a
car.
story. Back in 1988, where that hotel is right now, I applied for funding to have a car wash in there, and I came in here and put it in front of the planning board. And at the last moment, I got nervous because I didn't think it would be feasible, because I went to UNH and they did a study and they said, that area is not gonna grow, it's not gonna be feasible. I, honest to God, I had an agreement ready to go. Remember the bank right over here called Iona Savings Bank?
Yeah.
And they had given me a loan for it and everything, I was already to sign, I got nervous in the very minute when UNH, the geniuses told me that this area wasn't gonna grow.
I better than listen to
Actually, it's actually prohibited by the state from public water.
Right. Has that on here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's,
Let's do that.
It's right here in this letter.
This is
Not by a
just
So-
a
Right
casual
here.
question, but
yeah.
Simple Green, have you thought of any other cleaners? Because, I mean, I haven't read the MSDS, but there's some controversy surrounding Simple Green as being not so green and airborne.
According to the
problems.
state, that's what they want you to use.
Oh, they do, okay,
That's the one they direct you to use.
okay. Well,
Without directing
I'm just
you.
curious. It's just
They give you a list of about 3 of them you can use. It's Simple Green, another type of product now, but Simple Green is the one that they
That's the old standby, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's been around longer than I have.
right, you have to give the state,
No, nothing's.
to get my permit from the state, you had to give them the whatever that is.
Yeah.
Material safety data sheets.
Thank you. Easy for you to say.
Dealt
Go
with
online
for
and
years.
check it out.
Now, you said that thing drains out to the, so is it going out the back of the garage?
It goes out the side and then it turns and go down, so I found it, so I'm in a good position to get it into it, yeah.
So it's not a pipe, it's
Thank
a,
you.
it's
It's one of those flexible pipes that comes out of it, like an accordion type of pipe
a,
they
like
had.
black or something?
It is black, and it's like an accordion type.
So you're planning a swale over there in
Yes.
what you're calling your snow storage area?
Yeah, well, the snow storage area, if you go look at the snow storage area right now, because it's pretty evident where it is not where that swale is, it's more up higher. It will work.
How deep will that swell be?
That swale's gonna be about 2.5 feet deep.
And how long?
It's, I think we have it, if you lay it out there, I think it's approximately like 18 feet long. Something like that. And again, if you ever saw the detailing of a process of a car, there's not a lot of water that's used, but you do have to use water. And it takes approximately 4 hours to detail a car to do it properly. If you have a car that's a trade-in and it's been kind of abused, it could take you 8.
It would take mine, definitely.
You know,
Mine longer than that, it's nothing.
And again, this particular type of system is used all over the state, by the state. It's probably being used by the town right now. I can't imagine that they have, I don't know how the town washes their trucks now, but I assume that they have this type of system. They have to. I mean, all the salt that they get on them daily from plowing and all that sort of thing, they have to have a way of handling it. And this is, eventually I have the storage that's across the street. I plan to bring that up, and so I don't think this is something that's gonna go on forever, but for now, this is how you handle it.
Okay. Well, I wish to apologize. I didn't get a packet, so I didn't realize that you were coming in tonight, or I would have come over to your site and just looked at the area where you're asking to put it. I don't know how anyone else would feel, but I would like an opportunity to do that. Just to see where you're going to have the piping come out and where the swale will be. Well, like I say, I apologize.
Yeah, if you're
I never
gonna-
got my stuff, so.
If you're gonna let me know when you'll be there, I'll be happy to meet you there and explain it to you.
Okay. I will call and
Sure.
set up an appointment.
That'd be great.
Okay. I'm out tomorrow before the snow comes.
Don't be afraid.
No, if there's gonna be someone there tomorrow, I'll make it a point to come by tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll be there.
I can give you a time, and I don't know if anyone else wants to go and look at it, but
I would.
yeah, I would like to see, this area and, because I'm.
There's not, I'll be honest with you, you're not gonna see a lot. You've
Well,
got
I know,
snow.
But I want to see where in relation, like where the pipe's coming out of the garage, where you're planning to put this, and the relation that has to the distance to your detention pond back here.
We have a plan that shows that. You just don't have it, but I have a plan that has it all laid
Oh,
out.
I have this. Is this what you're talking about?
Yeah, that shows that's
Yeah.
exactly where it will go in relation to Hassel. And this is when I went down and I met with the state, because you have to go down and meet with the state, this is where they
Yeah.
had it to go. So it would be going right here. And all our snow right now, which you can't plow into here, all our snow is really right in here. It goes to the
Okay.
back of here. There's really no snow in where it is here.
Okay.
It goes in here, because you can't plow in with
Yeah.
snow. There's no snow in this area.
What is this?
That's a high tension line. It's
Oh,
it goes back to a telephone pole that we have here. And there's no way that you're gonna fill up, even that swale, there's no way that you're gonna fill that swale up with a hose, a garden hose. You could leave it on forever. I mean, that's what we're talking about. The water is the amount of what comes out of a garden hose. So, and if you come by, you see that how long it takes to detail a car. It's a slow process. You get a little toothbrush out, you get into the little grooves, you brush off all the little dust that's in there. You know, as you make it look as nice as you can. We all have experience, so we know what a car looks like when it's.
I know it's extremely expensive. Well, it is,
Yeah, it takes a long time.
because it takes so long.
I'm glad we don't do it for anything other than our own cars, because you would
so this
lose
is
money.
your own
I was bringing mine
No, it's
by
not-
to see how long it took.
Yeah, that's another experiment. Everybody needs to see how the cars are gonna look. So.
You're not gonna get it.
All that coffee I bring you.
Is there any other questions by members of the board? Sounds like we're gonna continue.
You gonna open to the public?
Oh, yeah. Is there anyone from the public that has any comments, questions? The public being over there. They're being quiet. So we'll close it for public comments.
What would you like?
A motion to continue to,
Oh, all right.
So this is continued based on inspection, or?
Yes, I would like to go and inspect the site. I don't know if anyone else feels they'd like to, but I would like to.
Well, I think maybe John needs to look at this too, to make sure that,
Yeah, well, I gave him a copy of it, so he has it now.
Yeah, I mean, whatever this says I have to do, this is the state. They're gonna come out and visit me. They're gonna be a lot tougher than me than you guys are.
Yeah. But anyway, it'll give you an opportunity to read it, and, so when you come back, I don't know, how those
Is that a motion?
conditions of approval that they gave you will. What? Did you do what?
I just didn't know if she made a motion.
I started to, and then,
Oh,
so
okay.
I make a motion to continue case 14-02 for the amended site plan to our next board meeting. Johanna, do you have a calendar?
Johanna, you have in there, she's got a list of our meeting dates. Might be
Is she already submitted the agenda for that meeting?
for the 25th. You can put a continuation onto that. No? All right, so that would be it, it'd be going on the meeting on the 25th.
Would you like to set up a time for tomorrow right now?
I'll second
Hang
it.
on, we've got a motion blocking
Sorry.
around the floor.
Okay.
Don't get excited.
Part of the motion.
Okay.
No.
Second.
All those in favor?
Uh,
Opposed?
Okay, that's the 25th.
Second before someone else
I
got
think we
to.
have
You have to look
we have on that one already.
We do have one continued to them,
Yes, the
The one-
building out there
on
by,
Laconia Road.
All right.
what time do you guys start business?
8:30, 9.
Well, I'm not coming that early.
I didn't think so. You know, how about 1?
How about 1 o'clock?
Yeah, 1 work for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have nothing to.
We're all, I hope to see you all there tomorrow.
No, we
Okay.
can't all be there tomorrow.
I'm sorry, I've got my grandchildren.
I'll be there at 8 with coffee.
No,
Remember, I take it in.
Okay, 1 o'clock?
It'll be
Please be
great.
careful if people decide to go, that if a quorum is met, then that makes it a meeting, so we just want to make sure.
Well, right now, it's just myself and Bob that will be there at 1,
And I'll be there earlier.
and she'll be there earlier.
And I might show up anytime.
Hey,
Okay?
you're all welcomed.
I'm gonna come.
I'm
on
gonna try to
snowstorm.
sell you all a car too when you show up, just know that, all right?
I'm gonna have
Now,
you
my
de-
car's pretty.
I'm gonna have you detail mine, just so I can see how much runoff there is.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you very much for your time. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you,
Thank you,
John.
John. Guess we're gonna be seeing more of you again.
It's, once it starts, you know how it goes.
I know, that's what I said. I almost
You're just
forgot
a
what you
glutton
look
for
like.
punishment.
I see him too much anyway.
Yeah, I'm like a bad dog, just keep coming back.
Three-legged one at that.
Yeah, they have one up at Tilton, it's pretty funny. Thing gets around quickly. What was the date?
25th.
No, it's good. The other time. Let's start calling you for things. Good night, folks.
Good night.
See you tomorrow.
Night, John.
Thank you.
Like,
All right.
Oh, John.
Moving on.
Except my mind came up.
Let's see, planning board case 14-03. I'm gonna butcher this one. And they're my neighbors, so I can't even say anything. Boundary line adjustment to transfer 1,342 square feet from Gambati's to Bailey, creating no additional building lots. The property is located at 10 Highland Avenue in the Village District. So, I guess we have to. All right. So I guess we have to make a motion that application appears to be substantially complete.
Okay,
I'll make a motion to accept it.
Second.
except what?
The plan. Oh, I'm sorry. To accept case number 1403. The boundary line adjustment to transfer
1,300.
1,342 square feet from Scambati to Bailey.
Is there a second?
Second.
Three times.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye. Thank you. Okay.
All right. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is David Krause. I'm the licensed land surveyor. I'm here with Susan Bailey of the Susan Bailey Family Trust. There should be a letter in the file from the Scambatis. They figured they had better things to do than come tonight. The Bailey property, which is shown in blue, is located on the west side of Highland Avenue. North is pointing this way. They own just over half an acre. The Scambatis own property with frontage on Cedar Street, Pine Street, and a small sliver of frontage on Highland Avenue. It's approximately 1.6 acres. The Bailey Trust had some stone walls, landscape stone walls built, and they were inadvertently built over the property. And they've come to an agreement with the Scambatis to acquire this little sliver, triangle in black. It's 1,342 square feet, so that the walls will be on their property. None of the frontages will change. Both lots do meet the minimum size for the zone and will continue to do so. We have set the monuments. If there's any other questions the board has at this time, I'll be happy to answer.
Is there any plans to move any of this, the brick or the concrete or whatever it is that's there?
No, they're field stone walls.
They're stone walls.
Hmm?
They're stone walls.
Yeah. And what they're gonna do, instead of moving the walls, they're gonna acquire the triangle, so they won't have to move the walls.
So are they going to do something to stabilize these walls or is it?
No, the walls are fine,
The walls are
they were
fine.
just not built on the correct property, or portions of them were.
Okay.
No one knew where the property line was really when they
So
built
we
it.
It seemed like that was the property line.
Agreement between the owners
Yes,
of the properties to make this.
to adjust the line between the two properties.
Any comments from,
Sale agreement involved in it, or simple?
Gentleman's agreement.
just a handshake and a piece of paper? And recording of deeds, I'm sure. Any comment from the public? Hearing nothing, I'll close the public comment session.
There's no other discussion. I'd like to make a motion to approve the boundary line adjustment between the Scambottis and the Baileys.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Nay? Negative? No? All right.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
And I'm sorry if I've ever...
Sorry you had to sit through it all.
2 Mylars, one to go to the registry and one to the town.
I'll drop them off either Thursday or Friday.
And do we have to have a PDF version of that too, per Tim's request?
Yeah, can you send one, and then that way they can take care of it. And, well, depending on the snow road, by Monday I would have gotten it over there, okay? Because we don't have anyone in the office right now.
Okay, so
If you bring it in Thursday or Friday, if the ground isn't snow covered, I'll come get it and take it to the registry.
I can bring it over first thing Thursday morning.
Supposed to snow.
I thought it wasn't gonna snow till like noon.
Oh, I don't know. But anyway,
That's my forecast.
yes. Okay, well,
10/13.
as soon as the roads are clean, I will take it to the registry. And I'll call and let you know what the recording numbers are, and then they'll send you something as well.
That'll be perfect. Drop them off at the front desk.
Yes?
Or-
Yeah. Just ask for Catherine. She's the selectman
Yeah.
secretary, and she'll take care of it. I'll tell her tomorrow to expect it.
Great, thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And if you ever see me walking through your woods in the back, isn't there public right of way?
It
there?
is, there's right away.
So if you see me coming out looking like a Bigfoot, that's just me. I go hiking back there all the time. I go with my
Especially if
dog.
you have a dog. Yeah.
Well, I do have a dog.
Okay.
I live up the street from you, so
All right.
Okay.
Great.
I don't know all my neighbors so well.
I can't believe you said that.
All right, moving on.
You just
Approved
spoke on a
January 28, 2014.
Okay.
I'm assuming that should be minutes.
Yes.
Oh, I don't know what I did.
Here. That's him, isn't
This is the item stand. All right, page 2.
Full of on my computer. I don't know if I heard that.
She has some extras, but the ones that she made copies of, weren't the corrected ones, so.
I don't want to leave all my money here.
Oh.
Oh, we would have split it.
Gentleman's agreement.
Exactly.
All right, down at the second paragraph, I guess it's the second paragraph, yeah, the second paragraph, about near the end. At this point, the property was sold to Mr. Sterner. You see where I'm talking?
Yep.
Mr. Sterner then applied for a building permit, but this was denied. That's the first correction. And then the very last sentence, Mr. Sterner then hired his firm to complete the site plan process instead of my firm. And then down in the next paragraph, the very last sentence, questions on the application which would need to be filed.
Which one was it? The next
Next paragraph, yeah.
Yeah, it's two sentences to one sentence,
Yep, yeah,
which would need to be filed. It says would be needed to be filed. All right, then the next paragraph, the second sentence, there's a D on relocated the entrance, and there shouldn't be a D on that.
She's got a good eye.
And then the next to last sentence in that paragraph, this site does not have the area, cross out to, and put that will meet the town's or the state's setback for the septic system.
I feel like I'm,
Next paragraph. Mr. Smith stated he, instead of saying has compiled, put sent a letter to the Conservation Commission addressing their concerns, period. I don't think you need after reviewing the plan.
excuse me. I'm under the impression we're going over the minutes
Mm-hmm.
of the January 28th.
Mm-hmm.
I'm finding that I'm not finding in my paper the stuff that you're talking
Oh,
about.
well,
you
it
know
might have
what?
already been done.
Yeah, maybe you got a newer one.
You got the corrections. What was given to us here tonight, there were no corrections.
There were no corrections made.
So what was mailed, or emailed to everyone was corrected. But what was given out at the table tonight was not.
Okay, so I'm not looking at the same.
You know,
Right.
hey, you're all set, Bob.
Where we're going from here, 'cause
Oh, where you
I'm sure you're sick of listening to my voice.
Oh, where you accept
I'm
after
melodious.
All right, next paragraph. Mr. Smith continued that one. Mr. Smith continued by saying the state has no issue with the drainage plans. Plan, not plans. And then I changed like most of the rest of that. That are being proposed, period. The new plan will correct the drainage before it flows into the state pipe going under Route 3.
Which?
No, I crossed out which.
Oh,
The state pipe going under Route 3. Did you get that?
Yep.
All right. Next paragraph. First sentence, I didn't do anything. Mr. Smith stated they are in discussions with DOT as to why they are requesting this, period. The original driveway permit was issued with no turning lane in 2012, and only the entrance was proposed to be moved. And everything else I have okay,
so,
Oh, there's a correction.
until the very last page. What? You're making fun of me.
yes.
Why?
It was cute.
That last page, page 3.
My eyes, my sinuses are all stopped up. It looks like I'm crying, so I can't see because of my tears. All right, the very last page. Ms. Alden, shut up. I hope they got it. Ms. Alden made a motion to continue the case, okay, and then to allow the applicant time to meet with the Conservation Commission on February 17th, 2014, period. This, what?
Oh, I was gonna say 2014.
Yeah.
Okay.
This, you must be old. That's what they said. This also gives the applicant time, period,
Time, no, to meet with DOT.
to meet with DOT concerning the turning line, lane. Motion was second, and then it's okay after that. Well,
Yeah.
look at my eyes, watering. And then at the next, under minutes,
Yep.
January 10th to 2014, cross out meeting.
Yep.
And that's it.
Oh, no, it's not quite it.
That's all I have.
Okay, where it says Ms. Tilton asked for a correction,
Miss Tilton,
Yes, under the minutes. We got rid of that, took it out altogether because it sounded kind of funny that she asked for a correction and didn't say
Oh,
why.
yes, that's right, that's when you came
So
in.
we said, after a brief discussion on changes.
Yes.
And
You see where
then
it says it?
Ms. Plessner made a motion to accept the minutes of January 10th as corrected. Okay?
Yeah.
Sorry, we'll put you in the next one.
Would you like to ask for a correction?
Well, I mean, I'm sure you must have asked for something, but she didn't
Yes,
put
it
it
was
in there.
misquoted.
Yeah.
He had requested something and they said I had requested it.
Oh,
So that
okay.
was the change.
Well, even that, whatever you requested be changed, she doesn't.
What was in the minutes? It was something that, it was
Yeah.
quoted as her
We're
saying
doing
it
the
was
minutes.
Yeah, so I don't know what it was.
something to do with.
But
was
we
too late.
acknowledge
Something
it.
was with the car, unregistered cars at that,
Yeah.
fast cash or whatever it's called down by the movie theater.
All right, I would like to make a motion to approve the minutes of January 28, 2014 as corrected.
Second?
Motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Approved minutes. Well, let's see, next we got the purple folder, correspondence. All right, oh, here we go. March workshops at the Wells and Great Bay Reserves. 2 days of environmental communication courses with Eric Ethel. Water words that work. That one's in Wells, Maine.
So,
It is a $35 a day or $60 for 2 days. It is being held in Wells Middle. At the Wells Reserve on March 11th. Doesn't say what time. So you have to guess. The next one would be More Than a Message. Even the strongest message deliver itself. And then NOAA, N-O-A-A, Postal Services Center Training, Managing Visitor Use in Protected Areas. That one is also at the Wells Reserve. That's a 2-day one, March 25th and 26th. That one's $45. Again in Wells, Maine. On Loudholm Farm Road. Next one is the Belmont Planning Board. Their meeting coming up on February 24th. I guess the one that would be to us was Winnisquam Boats LLC, request for a site plan approval to construct a commercial building for a boat showroom and merchandise display in the merged lot. We have, so this is an FYI from the Daily Sun, it looks like, maybe? No? Laconia Zoning Task Force eyes restriction on use of various kinds of electronic signs. One of the neat things about this one is for you guys, one of our tasks this year that we didn't really do a good job on last year is reworking our sign ordinance. There's particularly in the village, the downtown district here, with flashing signs and open banners and things hanging out over sidewalks and stuff. But this one here, the task force proposes requiring all illuminated signs to be positioned and directed so as to minimize glare to passerby, especially motorists. Likewise, the ordinance prescribes standards of brightness between dusk and dawn for signs lit externally and internally, as well as those electronic signs that are directly illuminated, which would be required to be equipped with dimming controls. And then the task force recommends that all EMCs be fitted with a sensor that automatically dims the sign to match the ambient light at all times of day and night. EMCs display static messages and images without either actual or apparent movement or variations in intensity, though the face of the sign could change every minute. What was this from? This is Saturday?
It's from the Daily
Oh, the Daily
Sun.
Sun. On, I guess, the 7th. Go back and look at that online, read a little bit more about that. 822 South Bay Resort. This is, to Scott. Please find the attached draft minutes of the January 14th planning board meeting along with a letter from Kay Dawson, Health Office, and email from Eric Mitchell updating the progress. The board is wondering if the cottages are supposed rented on a full-time basis. Sheet number 9 on the notice of decision. January 27th, then there was another one. I will review the file and get back to you. Good morning, please let others know that I sent Attorney Braley an email inquiring about the discontinuation of year-round residency of the cottages. I await his reply with their position. And then there was a copy of the letter for Mr. Bernard that we all already did that. And then this is for the planning board. This is from Scott McGuffin regarding 822 Laconia Road. Good morning, Phil. In reviewing the file on the 822 Laconia Road project and discussing the status of compliance with the settlement agreement and the 2007 site plan approval, a question has been raised by the town to the continued occupancy of the cottages on a non-seasonal permanent basis. As noted in the approval in the condo documents, as further referenced in your October 15, 2013 letter, the cottages referred to as non-dwelling units are intended for seasonal use only and not as the occupant's long-term primary residence, which has been and appears to be the case based upon feedback from town officials. Please advise the town as the timeline for compliance with this aspect of the prior approval, condition number 9 in condo documents.
Okay, and I have a continuation to that,
Oh, boy.
which is an attorney-client, so it'll be done off camera.
Okay.
After I read it, I think you'll understand it.
Okay. So I guess we will go on. Go back
Do
there.
you have to have a motion to go to non-public?
Well, it's not really, it's attorney-client, it's not non-public. But attorney-client is non-public.
Okay.
But it does not require minutes, because it is attorney-client. So I guess you can just say that we're going to take a recess.
Take a recess. All those in favor? Recess is over.
Okay.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second? Okay.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Adjourn.
I come here, you make me cry, you make call me old.